Hello, this is Jim Hazard. I've been asked by DASA to create a vision of what the ULEMA would look like if done as source code. So I'm a lawyer based now in San Francisco, but I've spent about half of my time in Paris. Um, the UELMA is part of the uniform laws, which are done by the National Conference of Commissioners on uniform state laws. They do many, many documents. You can see the notion is to create uniform model laws which can be adopted by the various states in the hope of harmonizing the law in the U.S. So here is what a source code vision of this would look like. So we have in this one, we've taken the base library of the uniform laws and we've broken it up into separate sections. So you'll see here that the body of the document is a number of sections, and each one of those is fulfilled in these ways. And some of these are then parameterized because the states do different things with them. In the currently published form, they do use essentially a notion of parameterization with square brackets. I use curly so that these can be automated in this system. This renders into the full document like this. So this is pretty much the act as proposed by the uniform laws folks. And you can see these are actually their automation elements. I've just made them fully automatic. And those then are reflected back into each state. So you've got Massachusetts and you've got Oregon, and you'll see that that's just a list of what the changes are. So in Oregon, they reorganize the provisions, and of course, Oregon references its set of what it regards as authentic sources of law for Oregon. So that's the changes, and of course, Massachusetts does the same thing so that we can see what Massachusetts is like this way. So Massachusetts has got its section now. In Massachusetts, it's still a bill, so they frame it as a bill, but there's the body of the document like this. Massachusetts does not reorganize the sections, but it does delete the last one. So you can see here are the diffs. This can also be done, the same thing here can also be expressed in this other format. So I'll show you what this looks like. What we've got here is the Massachusetts changes, and here you can see it's got a diff as compared to what the base is. So in the Model Act, they say, hey, provide this stuff. Here we provide this stuff. It shows the diff on it. Okay, and here's the list. We can see the elements that are included versus not included. And that, of course, renders out into the full document, showing us the differences between the one and the other. This may be a little small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, so we can make it bigger like this, so that you can see, and you can see here that that this comes here. There's a little bug in the way I threw this together, so we see we got an extra one here that we shouldn't have. But basically, you can see if you look at this, that this piece comes from the Massachusetts version of it, whereas most of the body of the text comes from the base. So you can see the exact differences. In this, you can also open and close so you can see what things are like this. Okay. So you see that that's the sections and the applicability. We get back to our original structure like this, okay, taking it all. In fact, we can take it all down so that we can build the thing up from the opposite direction. Here we go. So here are our sections. Because there's a little bug in the thing, we only get the numbers as we open it up. But here we go. Here's the Oregon and how the each one of these sections is. So each one opening up, so the different sections like that. Okay, so that is most of what is in the system. To go back to this, the notion is that if you use a source-based approach to this, you can probably, number one, create the standards faster, because that's really what source code methods are about. It's collaboration on a common document. And you can also allow use of that in a way that lets you keep a little better track of how it's going. Probably you can also develop a knowledge of what each state is doing, and essentially kits for each state, so that there are ways that the folks creating the materials can understand and fit into the patterns in the various states. So generally the notion is, if we use source methods, we can create uniform laws a lot better, in the same way as we can create contracts and other documents an awful lot better. So that's the propos, and this is me, and I'm very happy to provide links or whatever kind of follow-up anybody's interested in. Thank you very much.